Run It Back Nation, what is good? It is I, DJ Eastwood. This is Run It Back Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros, even though that's kind of an intro. Thank you to everybody purchasing the merch, the Process Complete t-shirt with Joel Embiid, James Harden silhouette on there. Thank you to everyone that's purchased one of those. When you do purchase, when you get the merch, send a photo to me wearing the merch on Instagram at Run It Back Philly, and I will post you on the official Run It Back Philly Instagram page. You get a dope t-shirt, tank top, crop top, hoodie, whatever you want, and you support me and Run It Back Philly at the same time. So it's a win-win situation, man. RunItBackMerch.com. Go get you one, and make sure you send me the photo when you receive the merch. Thank you to everybody that is ordering those. Let's get into this, man. Hit the like button on the video. That helps me out greatly, okay? Let's get into this. 76ers buyout candidates. Because, listen, last night didn't happen. As far as we're all concerned, we're going to let Celtics fans bask in the moment. You know, the meme that I put on Instagram of the Celtics banner hanging that says beat the 76ers by 48 points on a Tuesday night in February. They're acting like it's a championship, so we're going to let them live. We are going to move on. We're erasing that game from our memories. It didn't happen. It doesn't exist, okay? Let's move forward. One thing the game does tell us, though, is that the 76ers need help. Okay, in the buyout market. Outside of bringing James Harden onto the team, which I think is going to help a lot, there's still a lot of holes, especially off the bench of this team. So let's go through the buyout market and talk about 5 potential candidates that are basically on the 5 main guys that are going to be on the buyout market. And I'm going to give you a yes or a no to each one, what I think about whether or not the Sixers should pursue said player in the buyout market, okay? Let's first talk about how the 76ers can sign a player in the buyout market because they're over the salary cap. Josh Harris is looking at about a $15 million bill in the mail for the luxury tax for being over the salary cap. As you can see, the salaries are right here on the screen. You got James Harden at $44 million. If he opts in, which he said he's going to, you got him next season, then he would be eligible for a 4-year, $280-some million Supermax contract, which would pay him $67 million when he's 38 years old. Obviously, the Sixers have the rest of this season and next season to decide if they would want to do that. If he's healthy, in great shape, plays good, maybe wins a championship this season or next season with Joel Embiid, and they decide, hey, this guy has 3-4 more years left, let's keep going, then they would sign him to that Supermax. I have faith that they would do that. So that's interesting. Tobias Harris being a $36 million player, paid $6 million more than Joel Embiid is an embarrassment. You got to get rid of it. Control-Alt-Delete Tobias Harris off of this screen. Just get it out of here. It's ridiculous. He had 6 points last night. You got to clear up that cap space somehow, some way. It's not helping you at all. Danny Green at $10 million. I don't think he's going to be here next season either. And the rest of this roster, outside of Tyrese Maxey for the future, is lackluster, needless to say. So let's look at the buyout candidate. Well, first of all, here's how the Sixers can sign a buyout candidate because they're over the luxury tax, or they're over the salary cap. They're in the luxury tax. The Sixers are over the $143 million tax apron. They are prohibited from having access to the non-taxpayer mid-level exception or biannual exception this season. So they can't even sign a mid-level exception because of Georges Niang and Charles Bassey. They already spent $4.2 million of their taxpayer mid-level exception to sign Georges Niang and Charles Bassey this offseason, and the remaining $1.7 million portion of that MLE began prorating on January 10th, leaving them with less than $1.4 million to spend. That could actually give the Sixers a slight edge in the buyout market, as teams' minimum exceptions have been prorating since the beginning of the season, as any player who signs via minimum exception from this point forward will receive no more than 34% of their full minimum scale salary. For instance, a 10-year veteran minimum would make $2.6 million per season on a veteran minimum, but if they sign this season for the remainder of this season, they would receive no more than $900,000 for the remainder of this season, as it would be prorated to next season. Does that make sense? Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it's. I'm trying to figure out the buyout market thing and how this stuff works. If anybody has a NBA salaries for dummies, send it my way. because I need it. But basically, listen. Basically, the Sixers can make some signings, even being over the salary cap with all of these, salary loopholes or whatever. They can pull strings and prorate salaries and things like that. So they can still sign some guys to help them for the remainder of this season and make a playoff push and bolster the bench. So let's talk about what guys they should be looking at. The first candidate is Robin Lopez. Listen, man. Robin Lopez is a big no from me, okay? First of all, the guy just doesn't have many basketball skills. He can't move. He can't move his body. He's basically Boban, but shorter. He's hardly getting on the floor with the Orlando Magic, who are 13-43 right now. But the main thing is, if the 76ers would be looking for a center, they will be looking for a center because of their rebounding deficiencies. Robin Lopez has averaged over 6 rebounds per game exactly one time in his entire career. All right, so that's going to be a big no from me, Robin Lopez. I'd rather have Paul Reed or Paul Millsap or Charles Bassey at the backup center position. I don't think signing Robin Lopez would really help you out that much. Plus, he looks like the Geico caveman, and I never, ever, 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 ever want to watch him do a hook shot in a 76ers uniform. So Robin Lopez is a big no from me, dog. I'm out on Robin Lopez. You guys let me know what you think in the comments on that one. Number 2, Goran Dragic. Goran Dragic for me is a yes. A pretty obvious yes. One of the biggest deficiencies on this team is ball handling guards off the bench, experienced ball handling guards on the roster in general. So Goran Dragic is a yes for me. He's 35 years old, but he is an experienced guard. I think he has some left in the tank. Like I said, we have 0-level NBA guards coming off the bench. Shake Milton, Furkan Korkmaz, it's time for the Sixers to have guys like this, veteran journeymen who can contribute and are experienced and have playoff experience. All right, the last time he played significant minutes was in Miami. He averaged 13.4 points per game and shot 38% from 3. So as far as I'm concerned, Goran Dragic is already, at 35 years old, is already better than Shake Milton and Furkan Korkmaz, as far as I'm concerned. Also, Goran Dragic slapped Ben Simmons in the head in the playoffs in 2018 with the Brooklyn Nets. So anybody that slapped Ben Simmons, I would like to have on my team at this point. So Goran Dragic is a yes for me. You guys let me know what you think. Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson, after being paid big money with the Cavs, he should thank LeBron James for the rest of his life for that. Doesn't really offer you much as far as a basketball player outside of rebounding, but the 76ers, even with Andre Drummond on the roster before the James Harden trade, were very bad at rebounding. And so with trading Andre Drummond to the Brooklyn Nets in the James Harden package, we are now even worse at rebounding. And Tristan Thompson, the last time he played significant minutes on an NBA team was 2019, and he averaged 10.1 points per game. 10.1 rebounds per game. So the only reason I would say we should sign Tristan Thompson is for his rebounding, to help us in rebounding, come off the bench. Maybe he would play over, Paul Reed and Bassey and those guys. He has experience. He's been around the league a long time, and he can get boards. So, he's not Andre Drummond, but he's a backup center with experience who is a known rebounder, and that's really the only reason I would say yes to Tristan Thompson. So, yes to Tristan Thompson, okay? Hopefully he doesn't bring all of his baby moms or mistresses to the arena, because that would take up all of the courtside seats and nobody else would get to sit there. But I'm still going to say yes to Tristan Thompson. Next, DJ Augustin. DJ Augustin is one of those players that I always say absolutely destroys the Sixers when we play him, and we never end up having players like that on our team. The combo guard off the bench that can just get you a bucket that, is slept on, isn't really talked about around the league, but when he plays the Philadelphia 76ers, he drops 37 points and 19 assists. That's DJ Augustin. He hasn't actually ever dropped that stat line probably in his career, but you know what I'm saying. A little bucket getter off of the bench. Listen, the last time he played significant minutes was 2020 with Houston. He averaged 11 points per game on 39% from three. He is currently shooting 41% from three this season. And he's never been much of a facilitator, but he's a little bucket off the bench. And, he reminds me a little bit of a Trey Burke, who had potential to be a key bench piece for the 76ers if it wasn't for Brett Brown being paid by the Boston Celtics to sabotage the franchise. So DJ Augustin is one of those guys. You bring him off the bench, and he's a combo guard, can break a guy down off the dribble, can shoot 40% from the three-point line. I say yes to that because we don't have guys like this at all. So yes to DJ Augustin from me also. You let me know what you think. And the last one here is Gary Harris. Gary Harris, who got paid big money in Denver a couple of years ago, has never really been the same since then. He was a big-time role player for Denver, though, and he's now playing for the Orlando Magic. It seems like all of these players are playing for the Orlando Magic. I think actually 1, 2, 3. Who's Goran Dragic playing for right now? Not the Orlando Magic. All right, 3 of the 5 play for Orlando, okay, where players go to die. But Gary Harris, he currently plays for Orlando, combo guard. He averages 12 points per game for the Orlando Magic and shoots 38% from the three-point line. He's got good size and athleticism. Again, he's not what he was in Denver. Of course he's not. But again, a guy with multiple skills, can dribble, pass, and shoot. We say all the time the 76ers don't have enough guys who can dribble, pass, and shoot. We don't have enough basketball players. We have way too many one-dimensional guys who can either shoot and do nothing else, Danny Green, George Niang, Furkan Korkmaz, or we have guys who can defend and can't play basketball at all, Matisse Thybulle. So anybody that is a multi-skilled basketball player, I'm going to say yes to in the buyout market. So I'm saying yes to Gary Harris. You guys let me know what you think. I think if I had to put them in order, again, Robin Lopez was a no for me, but I would probably go DJ Augustin, number 1, target. Gary Harris, number 2. Goran Dragic, number 3. And Tristan Thompson, number 4. That would be my order if I had to put them in order. If they could come away with 2 of these guys in the buyout market, if that's even possible, let me know. If it's not possible with the salary complication, whatever, let me know that too. But if the Sixers could grab 1 or 2 of these players to bolster their bench moving toward the playoffs, it would be insanely beneficial, especially watching what happened last night, which is the game's an outlier. I know that. They're never going to lose by 48 points again. They never lost by 48 points in the history of the franchise. So Celtics fans, you can enjoy the moment. But if the Sixers could snag 1 or 2 of these guys in the buyout market, that would help them push through the playoffs. And, it'll be interesting to see what the team looks like with James Harden leading the charge from the top of the key. But yeah, man, that's my thoughts on the buyout market. You guys give me your thoughts on all 5 of these players, yes or no. If yes, why? If no, why? If there's other players that are on the buyout market that you would like to see, put that in the comments. And that's all I got, man. Run it back, Philly. And again, thank you to everyone purchasing the merch. Process complete. Go get you a hoodie, a t-shirt, a sticker, something else. Support the channel and get you some dope merch at the same time. RunItBackMerch.com. Hit the like button on the video. Subscribe. You guys are the best. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros. Forgot to turn the sound off on my phone. Peace. Oh.